At 3 o'clock in the morning, on a freezing February night in 1502, a strange silence filled the stone halls of the castle in Ferrara. The guards looked down. Courtiers avoided each other's eyes, because what was happening inside the ducal chamber was not just a wedding night, it was power being decided. This was the Renaissance, an age of beauty, art, and ambition. But behind silk curtains and candlelight, politics was often settled in the most private of places. And no one understood this better than Lucrezia Borgia. At just 22 years old, she had already survived 2 marriages filled with scandal, betrayal, and death. Her father, Pope Alexander VI, had turned marriage into a political weapon, using alliances to control Italy. Now, Lucrezia was the key to securing power once again. Her marriage to Alfonso d'Este was not about love. It was about survival. In Renaissance Italy, every powerful family, from Ferrara to Milan, relied on marriage as strategy. A union could secure peace or trigger war, and that meant one thing: the wedding night had to prove everything. Inside the chamber, the atmosphere was carefully controlled. Candles flickered against heavy tapestries. Every detail had been planned, because this was not a private moment. It was a test. In noble society, consummation was more than tradition, it was proof. Proof that the marriage was real. Proof that heirs could be born. Proof that the alliance could not be challenged. Without that proof, enemies could destroy everything. Whispers could lead to annulment. Annulment could lead to war. That is why records were kept. Witnesses waited nearby, and every outcome mattered. Lucrezia knew the stakes better than anyone. Her past had taught her one harsh truth: weakness in marriage meant weakness in politics. And weakness could be fatal. But this time, things were different. Her husband, Alfonso, was no fragile noble. He was a soldier, a strategist, a man who understood pressure. Together, they were not just participants in a ritual. They were players in a high-stakes game. And for the first time, something unexpected entered the equation. Real connection. What began as political duty carried a spark neither side had planned. And that changed everything. Because now, success was not just necessary. It was inevitable. By dawn, the outcome was clear. The alliance held. The marriage was secured. And with it, the balance of power in Italy shifted. Lucrezia Borgia was no longer just a pawn in her father's game. She had become something far more dangerous. A survivor. A strategist. A woman who understood that, in a world ruled by power, even the most private moments